is our energy team. And actually, we, the energy team, haven't really gotten together to do very much yet, except we've been working with Glenbrook North High School because they had a tremendous energy conservation program. Started with their kids doing a quick energy survey, and then they brought on consultants, and they've had tremendous savings over the last few years with just some fairly simple energy conservation techniques. And so they're making a presentation on November 21 at the library. And in addition to the maintenance person from Glenbrook North, we have a solar consultant that installed solar panels on Glenbrook South High School. And he's also installed a lot of solar panels, solar thermal on residents, on homes around Northbrook. So the presentation November 21 is for residents that would like to have solar panels on their house or just like to find ways of saving money through energy conservation. The other team, we have 6 people on that energy team right now. The water team, we have 4 people. And we have people in our Go Green Northbrook that actually have developed rain gardens, disconnect downspouts and ran the water into areas that had deep-rooted plants to absorb the water. It really works, guys. And so we have people that can tell you how to do those things. We're not going to be consultants laying out all the details and the costs, but we can give you a structure and tell you the information that you need to know for further investigation or maybe even help with the construction. We also have ways of reducing the water conservation through aerators and low flush toilets and things like that. So we can help that way too. The next team we have is called Ruby. And we're going to bring up Lou Cohen to discuss that. And right after him, we're going to have a forest education talking about the value of our forest preserves around the village. And finally, we're going to have a short presentation on Midwest climate change. Where are we going? What do we expect? Okay? And we'll just go right through the row here.
Thanks, Doug. Okay, I didn't know I was talking, so forgive me without having any preparation. RUBY is Reusable Bag Initiative. That's what RUBY stands for. My background, very briefly, I'm a rheumatologist, now retired. Some of you may know me from local cable television, where I had a show for 18 years on medical issues. 2 years later, I decided to change and have a show on environmental issues, and I've been talking about that for a couple of years, and the show is now defunct, so you can't catch me on cable. Not that you did anyway, but it's not there anymore nevertheless. Subsequently, I joined Al Gore's Climate Reality Project and have been involved with that. My group is to eliminate plastic and paper from our local vendors. To give you some ideas to the extent of the problem, one of the vendors, not in Northbrook, but very, very close to Northbrook, I spoke with them for quite a period of time, they use 6 million plastic bags a year. That's just one grocery store. My intention is to eliminate plastic and paper from large retailers. We have a group, I think, of 9 people now. We meet at the Northbrook Public Library the first Wednesday of the month, I believe it is. We've met twice. We have a couple of early initiatives that we're working on. I can speak longer, but I've only been given 3 minutes, so my 3 minutes are up. Therefore, after this is all over, I would love to speak with anyone who might be interested in joining this team in an effort to change our habits here in Northbrook. Thank you.
My name is Steve Packard. I just set a timer. There are people pretty much every weekend working as volunteers in the Northbrook Forest Preserves. Our community is essentially surrounded by forest preserves. We're the Des Plaines Preserves on the west, the Botanic Gardens, Skokie Lagoons on the east, and Somme Woods on much of the north. The work that the volunteers do is mostly at Somme Prairie behind the post office, Somme Prairie Grove east of the river and the railroad tracks, and then Somme Woods, east of Waukegan. What's there is a rare ecosystem that was almost gone from the planet, and we're busy restoring it to ecological health, and have been doing it pretty much every weekend since 1977. A New York Times science writer wrote a whole book mostly focused on it called Miracle Under the Oaks. And what we do is, in the winter, is mostly gather rare seeds and replant them to spread the habitat for a lot of rare animals and rare plants. People have a great time doing it. Carol Wagner's son Eli had a big mitzvah event with people from near and far. Many people in this room have helped out. Everyone's invited. We're hoping to have educationals at the library or here or somewhere this winter. And there's a website, sommepreserves.org. If you just Google SOMME Woods or SOMME Prairie, you'll find us with some great photos, etc. But the quack tells me my time is up. Be very happy to talk with anyone interested after the meeting or get in touch with us through the website. Thanks. And thanks to Doug for all of his work getting Go Green Northbrook going.
Evening. I'm John Novinson. A couple of you may recall I am the ex-manager of Northbrook. I have absolutely no pull, can't get you out of a parking ticket, never worked. I'm been selected to head up the Midwest Climate Change group. And as far as I know at the moment, I am the Midwest Climate Change. So I'd be very happy to talk to anyone else interested in that phenomenon. Yeah, I know. If you can't hear me, you'll want to sit down with me afterwards, because I'm really at the tape. Yeah, I know. Anyway, background-wise, since 1990, I've been involved in environmental issues kind of on both sides. First national meeting I attended as manager, there was a group forming up that basically was called the Environmental Mandates Task Force, which was basically opposed to being asked by the federal government to do things environmentally. And I thought it would be interesting to be part of that group. I did get the NRDC on it before we were done. And that then led to my ending up as chairman of the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus Clean Air Counts Task Force for the Chicago metro area. We are in an environment that has ozone and particulate matter that is particularly hazardous. So if you can avoid breathing, it's a good idea on certain days. And then finally, I was on the International City County Managers Association Sustainability Task Force. We had kind of swung 180 degrees around to being opposed to environmental regulation to trying to figure out how we were going to survive. So I've been, since 1990, involved in this. First time I attended a meeting on climate change, it was basically explained, poles get warmer, every place else gets weirder. And that seems to be the case. If you're a gardener, as especially my wife is, you know that we are no longer in the same planting zone that we started out in 1990. It is the actual climate is noticeable has noticeably changed if you get out there and spend time in it. What's that going to mean? What new and interesting insects that aren't imported from China will be coming our way from the south? What is going to be the effects of exaggerated drought cycles? That's one of the reasons we don't live in Pennsylvania now. One of the places we considered moving to after my retirement is, it's a place where the fresh water supply is going to be an interesting problem. So if you're interested in what climate change is going to bring, and even if there's something we could do to slow it down, come and see me. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much, guys. That gives you a flavor of what we're doing. I'm going to give you a brief introduction of just one more team, and then we'll go into a more detailed discussion of 3 more teams. The team I'm going to tell you about is a brand new team. We call it Stories and Movies. And what this team will do is really celebrate the diversity of life on the planet, the interconnected web of life. And what we'd like to do is discuss, philosophize about how humans fit into this web of life. It kind of anchors us all. So the other teams are more on the do. This is the be. This is what is it. So with that, we're going to hesitate for a moment, and we're going to bring up our communications team. Marilee and Jennifer and Judy.